All right. Welcome to Zilla Perspectives. I'm your host, beatzillapdx official. And today we have an interesting topic as it's the man that you want, necessarily the man that you need. You know, if you want a person who's easily distracted, you might want one type of man. But you might desire a man that has a little more focus, and a person that's going to be more focused will be more disciplined around their objectives and goals. So there is a woman on TikTok who kind of sums this up very eloquently. And so I wanted to go ahead and get into that real quick and chat on this real quick.
The man with no crew, he's not weird, he's not bitter, he's focused. And focused men are the hardest to beat. Let me explain. We're going to talk about the guy who doesn't run in a pack, the one you rarely see in group photos, the one who moves alone. People think he's antisocial, maybe even arrogant. He's strategic because when you think about it, let me just break down the truth. Most men waste their energy trying to impress other men. Always needing a crew, always needing validation, always taking big in front of their boys. But the man who's comfortable being alone, that's a man who's locked in on his purpose. He's not out here every weekend proving he's one of the guys. He's building, he's working. That man is thinking 3 steps ahead. And that makes him dangerous because he's not distracted by fake loyalty or people secretly waiting for him to fail. Nah, he's not distracted by none of that. You see, because a man with no crew can't be betrayed, can't be manipulated, and can't be moved by opinions. He doesn't need to be liked. He needs to win. So yeah, laugh at him for eating alone or skipping the hangouts or hanging with the boys. But remember this, the hangouts, him being alone while the crowd is partying, that lone wolf is hunting. And when he he shows up with results that speak louder than any hype man ever could speak. And if you're that man or you're becoming him, let me know in the comments, because this is about building power, not just proving you have it.
I have to wholeheartedly agree. Something she said about not having to prove that you have that needing to prove something. Now that is always going to be a very humongous sign of insecurity. So if you're dealing with a type of person that always has to say what they are doing or prove what they're doing, and that is every means of validation that means something to them, which again, don't get me wrong, getting credit for what you do, I believe is something, I've spoke on myself. You should definitely give credit to where credit is due. But not everything that a person is doing to achieve their goals is something that you're going to be announcing or broadcasting on Main Street or Front Street, just simply because not everybody is looking for you to win. And are you willing to lose for the right things? Are you willing to be solo for the right things? And one thing about, when you tighten up your circle, and when you're kind of riding in your own lane, there's one thing she said, it's very, the chances of betrayal are very slim. Why? Because you're riding on your own. And it's not isolation, but your obligation is only to yourself and what your mission is, not having an obligation to other people's agendas, which could happen when you run in packs. And so you get caught up into other people's waves. And so you always want to make sure, if you're shoring up something for yourself, that you are always maintaining your own lane. It may intersect with others for a season or a time, but at the end of the day, if y'all pass a line for a longer period of time, then of course that's what that is. But it is because y'all are at the same objective and the same mission, and so those type of relationships, tend to build throughout years and decades and time. But when you have a man that is knowing that, hey, I'm cool with riding solo, I'm cool with not being considered popular, or it's not a popularity contest. It's not about being liked. It's about the agenda that you're trying to get accomplished, and also that man is living by a set of his own personal standards. So that means that there is some kind of integrity there with that type of individual. And some people can see it, some people can't. But I would, say that this was probably more than not the type of person that, if you were looking to build a foundation or something long term, and whether that be relationship wise or business wise, or movement wise, those are the type of people that you want to kind of align yourself with. And again, even when you're doing your own things, again, understanding how these two things bounce off each other and service the people at the same time, or each other at the same time, depending on the context of which that is being used. But one thing that it will be across the board is that type of man is very serviceable and has the potential of what they say high value. Those are the benchmarks of the type of person you're looking for, because at the end of the day, they're not going to be in the midst of attention all the time. Some might be, that's not to say, but it's just saying, make sure you check all the parameters, because this type of person is definitely out here. But the thing about it is, they know how to move in silence, know how to build and create a pathway in silence, or in whatever sector they're moving in. And it doesn't have to be like a hey, look at me type thing. It's just really just these are the things that are being created in my midst. So I think that's just my take on it. But I would like to know what you guys think. One thing, when you ride by yourself, you can't be told on. When you ride by yourself, you can't be backstabbed. Because who's doing that? It's just you and your agenda. And no one can put your name in something that you have no part of. Why? Because you're in your own lane. So when people are making certain moves out here, they aren't connected to you. They may be, by association of saying, hey, you're all this or you're all that. But at the same time, that's that individual. And the choices they make are the consequences that they are accepting. And so when we have, situations that might present themselves, be glad that you're riding in your own lane. Because at the end of the day, nobody can complain about you. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button. Share this out on your social media if you would. Remember, subscribe. This is Zilla Perspectives. If you are, this video will actually be airing on both channels, but this is a Zilla Perspectives video. So make sure you come and subscribe to this channel on YouTube, Zilla Perspectives. This is what we kind of talk about over here. So there will be more content coming on this channel. So Thank you, everybody, for supporting the main channel. I appreciate that. That's the Independent Black Voice. Of course, same host. But this is, again, Zilla Perspectives. Like, share, subscribe. Thank everybody for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. Shout out the replay gang. And until next time, get that out of here. Until next time, family. Y'all take care. Peace.